The digital advertising industry owes a lot to the third-party cookies. All the growth we have seen is mainly because of third-party cookies. It enabled simple buying strategies like frequency capping, as well as complex strategies like dynamic creative optimization. Essentially, bringing accountability into digital marketing and accountability into every ad dollar that is spent. Now, at a very immediate level, once this was announced and Firefox and Safari already started blocking third-party cookies, we saw a 70% drop in CPMs for Safari and Firefox the next day, right? So that said, third-party cookies were not a very sophisticated way of targeting, to be very frank, right? I mean, you may all have seen ads following you around even after you purchase the product, right? There was very little integration between the first-party data and the third-party cookie. This brings us to a very unique opportunity as an industry to evolve into what we'll call the next phase of digital advertising, right? Now, let's take an example. Now, supposing I'm in a mood to buy a new pair of headphones, or I'm looking to buy a big ticket item like a car, or I'm purchasing a home, or I'm looking to figure out what kind of electrical equipment I want to fit in that home. The first place I go is the internet to understand who are the providers, what services are available in the market, what products should I go after. And using all of that research that I do, I take an informed decision. Now, this is called the digital influence factor. Now, Deloitte back in 2015 had done a study where it said that 21%, which is close to 60,000 crores of retail purchases, are influenced by digital factors, right? And this is back in 2015. Now those numbers will be significantly higher, right? Now, so what does this bring us to, right? So there's the first party data where a user comes onto a brand or advertiser's or product's website and leaves certain footprint in terms of what they're doing, comes to that website with a certain amount of recency and frequency, which indicates intent, right? The second aspect is, now he's come to the website. What about the users who have not come to the website, right? How do I figure those users out? So at Aeroscope, we are trying to provide a product through which customer intent across the web can be isolated. And, we are trying to marry the first party intent with the content consumption pattern of the user and trying to bridge the gap, right? Essentially place the product at the right point of time in front of the user when he has the intent of purchasing that particular product or service. Now, that said, there are significant challenges in achieving this. The industry has led towards an aggregation model, but this will cause a lot of, going back, and there will be multiple players, partners, tech providers who will have to come into some kind of an agreement, a global handshake per se, to enable us to achieve this. The good news is that once the cookies go away, like you said, Google will launch its privacy sandbox, which will provide open web standards, right? They will provide various APIs for tech providers, publishers, advertisers to hone into their APIs and be able to track users, understand behavior, understand content consumption, and create cohorts. So though the day of one-to-one targeting and retargeting will go away, the cohort-based targeting will be the new norm, is what I believe. And and every company today, whether it's a advertiser, agency, publisher, ad tech provider, should try and be at the cutting edge of this, be ahead of what is going to come. And mobilizing a cohort, targeting them, linking them to the right product and service is where I believe the future lies.